these intro things are really supposed to work, so I'm probably just not gonna do one. But what is it? Oh, right. So I was gonna try to do this thing where I let myself do at least like one thing besides like that has nothing to do with like homework or class or anything. Like every day, just as like some sort of like little test or whatever. Like if I allow myself to do this one thing, can I like focus more on like getting my homework and stuff done and not like procrastinate as much like as I'm like doing homework. You know, today I was probably gonna do well, I have The Sims 4 on my laptop and I've had it on here for at least like almost a year now. I think. Yeah. Probably about a year, and I haven't played it yet, so I figured maybe I could just play it today and maybe I could set a timer on my phone for 2 hours. I'm gonna do that a couple minutes ago. I've never played the game before. I don't know how to play the game, but I've watched other people play the game, so I know some of the controls and stuff. And that those 2 hours will just be whatever I get done, and like wherever I stop at in the game, I'm just gonna pause it, and that's gonna be it. And yeah. But I have asked some of my friends if they could like who I should put in the game, whatever, since you have to like create. It's gonna make me log in again. It better not be making me log in again. Okay, maybe not. Because Origin, for some reason, hasn't crashed like twice now. So I started recording a little bit like before now, but I was trying to get one of the little free pack things, and I don't know what the rest of this stuff is, and I don't think I have anything, and I'm probably not gonna buy anything. Okay, yeah, I think I'm done now. What? How much time do I have left on my timer? An hour 36. Let's move in. Let's go to Newcrest. Let's select the place to live. Okay. So I'm guessing I moved into that lot in the Symphony lot. Okay, where are these places? There's no stairs. There's no stairs to this building. That's just great. Yeah, so. Oh, but you get to that one though. Really? Really? I don't understand the doors.
Stamsi Turip, Inea Hisla, Naciona, Orobe Sons Porch, Marco, Aluvines Athens.
Let's turn this up. Something one of my teachers brought up in class sort of like piqued my interest right before leaving. She told us that on college campuses all around the world,
they're doing this study where they'll bring in they'll bring in like a dog or a rabbit or some sort of animal, and they'll have students pet it before like a big exam or a test. And they say like when they do that, it seems students do better on the test because they're less stressed, because something about petting an animal calms you, and something with endorphins in your brain. And one thing I thought about with this is, what if they do that on my college campus? What if on the day that she's giving an exam, she decides to bring in a dog, and she lets everyone in all of her classes pet this dog? I wouldn't be able to go to class that day, or if I did, I would literally have to wipe down the desk I usually sit at, and maybe the seat as well. And then, because no, she didn't touch the animal, anything she's touched, I probably can't touch because I'm allergic to animals. And then just being in the room with the dog means that there's dog hair flying around in the air somewhere on somebody or something. It might even be on the floor, and then if it's on the floor, it might get on my shoes, and then if it gets on my shoes, it gets in my room, and I might have an allergic reaction. That's like, I know it's not a common thing to be allergic to like animals or animal fur or any part of an animal like I am, but that's like a teacher knowing one of their students is allergic to like oranges in the case of somebody I knew in high school, and then bringing in a whole crate of oranges and using them in an example in class, and cutting them open, passing them around. People are eating them. The juice from it is everywhere. And you know this person is allergic to them, but you're also going to have a test that day or a quiz, and they don't leave the room, or they can't leave the room because they don't know when you're going to start the quiz. And even if you do, there's still oranges in the room. It's still anywhere in their vicinity where it could come in contact with them. And just thinking about that made me realize that the things that this one teacher talks about in class are similar to the things we talk about in my psychology class and sometimes in my communications class. And since this class is like basically a class to teach you how to study better, I guess you could say. Yeah, that's about accurate. So a lot of stuff she says and the stuff that she's interested in and things that affect her life are also things we've went over, or my psychology teacher has said while in that class. She brought in balloons, taped them to a desk, and popped them every time someone said the word bell. And I'm pretty sure if she would do that, then who's to say she wouldn't actually bring in a dog or some type of animal into class to do the same thing. So you can see the example that she's talking about rather than it just being said in the book and then also in class. And then the thing with that would be, I'm allergic to animals. And I would have to know ahead of time about that if she was to ever do anything like that. But I would know if she was going to unless she told us. Shoot, and then I probably just wouldn't be able to come to class that day, or maybe some sort of arrangement for that. I don't know. I just know the last time I was here on campus, I had an allergic reaction to someone having some animals at the Walmart. That lasted about maybe 4 or 5 hours before I actually realized I was having an allergic reaction. And that's about as slowly as it happens. But that was mainly just because I didn't come in direct contact with the animals myself. My friend I was with when we went to Walmart, she petted them. But then other people that were in the store, either like on their way in or on the way out, they petted them. So then if they were on their way into the store and they petted their dogs and the little cats that they had, then touched like the fruit or anything in the Walmart, I came in contact with the dog hair from what was on their hands that got on the stuff in Walmart, then got on me. And then with my friend touching them, anything that I had that she touched, it was also on that. And then, but when we got back to my room, she did wash her hands. So at that point it was fine, but then it was pretty windy that day, so whatever hair flew off the dogs got directly on me and on her. So then it was in my room, and I didn't realize or think about that until like late that night when my tongue was swollen and almost touching the roof of my mouth. Luckily for me, this little mini store they have next to the cafeteria on campus was open, and they sold Benadryl. So I didn't have to go to the ER or something, because it's the weekend and the clinics aren't open on the weekend, and the hospital is way too far for me to walk to while that going on without it getting worse on the way there. It's a 30-minute walk to and from the hospital from the dorm I was staying in last year. So from the one I'm in now, it's probably about a 40-minute walk. Literally just move across the street, well, crossing down the street a bit from where my dorm was last year. So it's a slightly longer walk, but still, I wouldn't do that. I would not do that unless I was bleeding out or I cut my finger off and had no choice but to go. But then at that point, I would probably be in the EMS and not walking there. But yeah, luckily that one day I was able to get the Benadryl. But thinking about that, then thinking about the possibility of them doing this study with animals at my school during these exams in my psychology class and my other class is fairly interesting, because then how would I prepare for that? How would I actually 100% make sure I don't have an allergic reaction that day? Well, for starters, like I said earlier, I would have to bring in a pack of wipes in my purse, wipe down the desk, maybe in the seat of the desk, not touch anything or anyone, make sure no one touches me. Then I would probably have to clean my shoes and stuff and my purse stuff off outside my room, and then take the clothes I'm wearing, take them off immediately, and then put them in my laundry bag. Or as I used to do when I went to my friend's house, I would put them in a separate bag and wash them separately from my other clothes, just in case the hair that was on them didn't come off in the washing machine, so I wouldn't get on all my clothes. Which, at the thought of that, one of my friends, I used to spend the night at her house. She had a dog and a cat. I think the only thing I didn't like the most about that was just, since I was there, I knew she had pets. I claimed her cat as mine. I think the cat liked me more than it liked them, but that's besides the point. So I remember being there with that. I would have to drink water practically non-stop. Couldn't touch the dog or the cat directly. To wipe off every surface or at least get some of the hair off of it. I would take my book bag that I use for school too, and just take all my clothes, sort of like bundle them up in my book bag. Then get home, take them all out, take off what I'm wearing, change to something else, wash those right away, wipe down the inside of my book bag, drink some more water after that, then more water. I would drink about maybe, like if I was over her house for the weekend, I would, between Friday and Sunday, I would drink at least almost a gallon of water a day, and then even more when I got home, just to sort of help with that. That seemed to be the only thing that would help all that much with it. And luckily, they also didn't have plants on top of the dog and the cat. And she also had a lint roller because she knew I was allergic to animals, and a dog brush, which oddly enough, since they had carpet, she didn't brush the dog with it. She brushed the carpet to get the hair out the carpet. It didn't really help with much, but it did get a lot of hair. But also, her dog likes to get up on the bed or beneath the bed whenever she's in the bed. And then the cat, I noticed sometimes I'll be getting ready to go to sleep, and since her bed is like a twin size bed, and she's really tall and pretty big, I would say, but not like obese or overweight or anything, just like she's really tall and she takes up almost the whole bed with just herself and her pillow. So I would end up sleeping on the floor with about 2 blankets and another pillow. And randomly, I would wake up and the cat is laying either on my legs or right in front of me to where I can't get up. Because, like I said, I'm on 2 blankets, so I'm laying on one blanket, then the other one's wrapped around me, and then I'm laying on the pillow. So I'm practically like tangled up in this blanket. And then the one part I could actually, to where I could like try to get out of, the cat is laying on right in front of my face. I can't even move. And if I do, because I tried once, the cat almost hit me. It got the blanket, but it jumped so fast, it scratched the blanket and almost scratched me. Just because I moved and woke it up. Like, I went to sleep and you decided to lay in front of me. So when I wake up, you get mad. Like, I was here first. That ain't how this works. I was here first, so if I'm gonna move, you shouldn't swing at me because I can't swing at you because you're a cat. Just thinking about that kind of makes me a little mad. Like, this cat literally almost sunk its claws into my cheek. It was so close to my face. But cat's gone, dog's fat, and there's another small dog. And I don't go over there, so never have to really worry about that again. But I kind of want to know, like, why or when the cat just left. Like, she told me, she was like, yeah, the cat ran away. And I'm just thinking, you never let the cat out the house, but the cat always wanted to go outside. Or at least who want me to open the door, let it outside. And then the one time you actually let the cat outside, it comes back. You're all asleep, so it leaves again. And just never comes back. Like, if you've never let the cat outside before, why did that one time you finally decide to just let it go outside? How'd you know it was gonna come back? And well, obviously it probably came back and then left again because it couldn't get back in the house. What was it supposed to do? Just sit on the porch all night until you let it in? I'm pretty sure cats don't think like that, and if they did, then good for them, I guess. It's not like we'd be able to tell if they can or can't think like that yet. I forgot what else it was I wanted to say. I really don't remember what else it was. I remember it was mostly just the one thing about possibly having an allergic reaction in class because people wanted to do studies with bringing animals into a classroom during a test. Which, oh, now I think another thing with that is, what if someone's like afraid of like certain animals? Like, some people are like scared of dogs, even small dogs they don't like. And some people are like scared of like cats because they claw at you and stuff and don't like being touched. So then, wouldn't you have to like ask your class like what animal to bring in and like if some of them are scared of it or not or anything? And then I'm pretty sure that most time about half the class, maybe even like most of the class maybe would say to bring in a dog because like I said, cats don't really like being touched all that much, and dogs seem to really like a bunch of attention like that. But then some people are scared of dogs or have a phobia of dogs, even small dogs. So then if people in your class are scared of dogs and cats don't like being touched, would you bring in like a gerbil or something, or a hamster or a rabbit? Then it's also like, do you just like, if you bring in a rabbit, do you just like, you set it on the table and like if you want to pet it, you can pet it, and then it just sits there for like the rest of the class? Like, I'm pretty sure you would have to keep the doors closed so it doesn't like run out the door. But then also, it could jump off the table and just start just jumping around the room if it felt like it. What's to stop it from doing that if it's not in the cage? And then, would you put it in the cage? Would you not? Would you just leave it out in the open? I mean, you can't pet a rabbit if it's in the cage, and what if someone wants to feed the rabbit? Not to mention, that might take time out of taking the test, too. Because then, you can either pet it or you can feed it. Like, if, my next class starts at 4:30. If she did that during the exam class starts at 4:30, and then you give people maybe 5 minutes after to still try to come in if they're late. And that time, people that are there would get to do it with them. Also, it's about maybe, 30, 25 people in class. And if almost everyone wants to pet it and feed it, then that means someone could pet it while also feeding it. But a bunch of people can't get around it because who's to say you're not going to scare it to just running away? So then, in the time that you're doing that, you're taking time away from the test. What if I want to start my test right away, and y'all doing this, and it's kind of distracting because I'm looking at y'all pet this rabbit and feeding it, and y'all talking and stuff like that. I'm trying to take a test. Not everyone can focus in complete silence, but a lot of people can't focus with sound in the background either. I am not one of those people, but if I was one of those people that couldn't concentrate with someone talking or background noise during an exam or a quiz, that would be distracting. And who's to say I wouldn't get a lower test score because I'm distracted by this animal that's sitting there that people are petting? Well, to put it this way, if I was really confused and didn't know any of the answers to the test, I would probably me personally, I would probably sit there, just stare at it. If it's looking at me, I'm gonna just sit there and stare at it. If I blink first, I get to see. If the rabbit doesn't know what's going on, I say I should at least get a B.